Hello and welcome to another Ayoto Corporation video. In this video we'll be looking at the other giant mech fighting game, Hawken, which is currently in closed beta and is being developed by Meteor Entertainment. Now, like most mech games, you have the ability to customize your mechs, so here we go to the garage, and there we go. You'll notice we have a bunch of mechs available right from the start. That's because here we have used points that were given to us to unlock some of them. This one is the Assault, which was unlocked automatically. Now, we have the ability to change up various items, such as offensive, defensive, and we can put in points to using our mech effectively. I currently have a point in energy capacity, but you can easily swap that out and put it in whatever you want. So as you level up with your mech, you'll be able to put points in various things that you might find more helpful. For example, you might put things in shields, or more powerful ammo, or a better move speed. You also have the ability to customize how your mech looks. You can buy new armor sets, such as that, which cost meteor points, which is the thing you buy. You also have the ability to customize the color of your exhaust. For example, here we got a nice blue, there's bright red, yellow, light blue. You also have the ability to change what your mech's color is in general, as well as changing the pattern on it. Those all cost money, though. So, back to the garage. And now we'll go to our first game type, which is Missile Assault. This is basically a capture point mode, but it's got a neat little twist on it. You have to capture silos, and as you capture silos, they will fire missiles at the enemy base. We currently own all these silos, except for Silo 1, which is being captured. And I'm just moving my way over to Silo 3. Now, as you see right there, the missiles are actually firing off towards the enemy base, which makes this a lot more dynamic and interesting compared to a normal capture the point mode, where you just kind of sit in one spot and watch a blue light or red light turn over. Now, the nice thing about Hawken is that while it's a giant mech game, it accurately captures the feel of being able to stomp around in a giant mech suit, while also being fairly maneuverable, which is kind of a big deal when it comes to being in these games. So you get a nice combination of fast movement and big beefiness. Now, I'm going into combat right here. And there's a guy right behind me, which I failed to notice. Now here's the log back-in screen. You have the ability to choose your mech from one of the two I have available. Any mechs you buy, you can get in here, and you also have the ability to swap your primary weapon. Now I'm in a Rocketeer mech, which is a heavier model. It's got more defense, more health, and it fires missiles instead of bullets. Now, I'm just heading back into the fray because all my allies are busy doing stuff, so I might as well too. And here we can just see the missiles firing off, as I pointed out before. I'm just skipping over a bit of time there where nothing really happened. And here we have our third missile silo that just got taken. So as I come down here, you can see one of my allies getting hammered pretty hard from the guys down there. So I lob a grenade down, and I'm firing. Now the thing about mechs in this game is that it's really easy to get destroyed if you get flanked. Like that guy did just there. I came right around him and completely wrecked him. Now, the other thing is, this game allows you to self-heal, as you'll see right here. This guy is re-healing himself because he took a lot of damage in that last fight. And here I am doing the same. You get a nice third-person view, so you're not completely blind while it's doing this, and you have a little robot that's just running around fixing your mech up. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a whole lot of playtime in this mode because I came in most of the way through the match. And Our team was well in the lead, so... So after that, we'll be moving into our next mode, Siege mode. This is more like a capture the flag mode, where you have to go around collecting energy points, or energy units, delivering it to your base, and launching a battleship. There's also a middle capture point called the anti-air gun, which is an anti-air gun. You go there, and you can defend your ship. Now, the interesting thing about this mode is that it's the only one with a startup screen. So you can just see I'm confused as I walk around and wonder what on earth is going on. Kind of wish there was more places that this showed up, but whatever. Yeah. So, the objective, like I said before, is to collect energy units and feed your ship power. Energy units come from... You gain energy units from energy trees, as they're called, which are little posts in the ground, located on a symmetrical map. You can see them right there. They're the glowing yellow dots. And we are currently attacking this tree. Someone put down a shield, which is what you see here. And, oh, it looks like the battleship just launched. When the battleship launches, the anti-aircraft guns in the middle of the map become available for capture. Generally, you want to capture those because if you're launching the battleship, it'll prevent the enemy from blowing it up. And if they're launching the battleship, you can shoot it down. You don't need to capture the anti-air guns, but it's generally a very good idea to use them. So now I'm going to respawn as my Rocketeer, because that's a little bit more effective against the battleship, as you'll see in just a second. So, look up in the sky. What's that? It's a bird? It's a plane? Why no, it's a giant flying battleship coming to get you. Now the nice thing about this is that you don't have to capture the anti-air gun to shoot it down. You can in fact just shoot missiles and rockets, whatever you want at it, and it will die eventually. Takes a lot more hits, but you can do it. Each mech has a special ability it can use. In the case of the Rocketeer, it gets a mobile turret mode. It gives more defense, and decreases its mobility by a lot. In the case of the Assault mech I was in before, it has the ability to instantly cool down its weapons for once a match, or once a respawn, I should say. Now, once the battleship is dead, it's time to go back to collecting resources, which means the fight over the energy trees begins again. So the best idea is generally to heal up and, if possible, group up with the rest of your team. The nice thing about this game, again, is that you're not a giant invincible mech. If you're caught out of position, or someone has superior positioning over you, you will die. So you need to learn the maps and the strategies to win at this game. Now, each mech has a different capacity for EU. In the case of my Rocketeer here, there is a much larger capacity than one of the Assaults. But the Rocketeer is also much worse in one-on-one combat, as you're seeing right here, with this guy just jumping all over me. Now, in this case, you see we're getting energy fairly rapidly. It does slow down after a while, and it will stop after a time. I also got pretty greedy, and I decided it'd be a good idea to stick around until I got full. Which is an issue, because that guy came back. And he proceeded to murder me. So here we are near the end of the game. We're fighting off this battleship. And just to show you that you aren't invisible in your base, I am going to get shot at and killed in about 2 seconds. If you don't have the ability to destroy the anti-air guns or capture them, then the best bet is to attack the battleship, but you are vulnerable while doing that because your firepower is targeted at it. So I died, and by the time I respawned, it'll be far too late, and the ship will have destroyed our base. So now we're going on to our third mode, which is Team Deathmatch. There is also a normal Deathmatch mode, but I kind of suck at that, so I'm not going to bother showing it. This is your standard Deathmatch mode. It's just fights in a big arena with teammates. You'll notice the enemy sighting thing, which that's a weird bug. You'll notice that enemy sighting thing, which has been going on for a few games. That is actually something you can do. You can sight an enemy or location, and your allies will see it on the map. So that allows you to call in reinforcements if necessary. And otherwise, it's just a good thing to find enemies to kill. There's also nice area destruction. You might have seen the piece of the bridge fall down before. If you were into street lamps, there'll also be sparks and they'll blow up. And very other nice things that just go in. Eat it, turtle. Oh, I guess someone else killed him. Whatever. The only real issue is that a lot of these tight corners are really hard to spot, and your mech does not necessarily turn that well. And here it is when, say, you are not completely vulnerable when healing up, you are still vulnerable. Now, as I was saying about the tight corners, right here I try and go up the stairs. It's really hard sometimes to get your bearings in the tight walls because all the walls look the same, really. It's a nice looking game apart from that. It's just, sometimes you can't find your way around. Eat it. This is pretty much the only game where I got a good amount of kills because I kind of sucked and died at the other ones. So don't mind if I just have a montage of good stuff going. There's not a whole lot to say about this mode now. The mechs feel good to run around in, and otherwise it's pretty good. The sound effects are also nice. Although I would have preferred maybe a little bit more oomph on the rockets, because when I jump around, you really just feels like you're floating up in the air. On the other hand, the weapons are great. So, now we're skipping to near the end of the match. Okay, and that was Team Deathmatch. Now, I'm going to bring up something that's kind of annoying. Oh, the statistics. For one, I'm kill leader. But no, the thing that annoys me is the earnings. You'll see here I have 50 Hawken points, which are the in-game currency. That is from a win where I did very well. And you only get 50 from that. You also get a lot of XP, but that's only used for upgrading your mech's ability, really. In order to buy new mechs and new weapons, you need a lot of points. Let me just show you. Go to the mech garage, go to optimizations, I got a new point, but yeah, there's also upgrades. But look at this. In order to buy a turret, just a turret, that's an item, you need 1,550 points. I only have 186, and that's from playing quite a few games where I actually won. You can also buy them for meteor points for fairly cheap, but that's a lot still. That's also where you buy meteor points. We did get a bunch of free points, which were used for me to buy the other mech, the Rocketeer. But still, it's very annoying that you have to do that. You also have the ability to buy Hawken upgrade points and the ability to buy XP boosts. But, again, you need to pay money to get anything. But anyway, if you want to try the beta, you should check out the link below. It's going into open beta fairly soon, and this has been another Ayoto Corporation video. We will see you next time.